All right, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the one most important skill that I believe is the most overlooked when it comes to becoming successful in whatever field you work in. No, it's not digital wealth creation. No, it's not focus or a flow state or whatever. This one skill I believe has throughout the last 5-10 years proven to become even more important when it comes to really being someone that is going to become an authority in whatever space you work in, be able to really stand out amongst the crowd. And that one skill we're going to be talking about is obviously communication, right? At its core, being able to communicate your message and your values to a broader audience, be it digitally or one-to-one in front of another person. Because when you look out through history, this is really what has been the most important skill amongst the most known of people. Like, unless you're Albert Einstein that has an IQ of 160, you can look back at all the different largest names in history, and they all have been great orators, right? Their ability to orate and communicate their ideas. Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, even people like Adolf Hitler has had a massive ability to be able to communicate their message to their audience, right? Both for good and for worse in some cases in history. But this is really the one skill, especially when it comes to the world we live in today, where so much is digital, and it's really taken a massive toll on the average person's ability to be able to communicate their message, because now people just write text, they send emails. But what I'm really seeing as something that is so prevalent in our society today, in whatever nation you live in, is that if someone's really able to communicate their message in a very potent way, in a clear way, they're able to stand out far more than before because the competition is lower, right? So this is also a part of why I'm doing this YouTube channel, is improving my communication skills and my ability to stand out amongst the crowd, because it's the fewest people that actually do practice their communication and understand truly what effect it has on you and your success, right? Because when you look at communication, it's really everything. Communication is everything from dating to sales to your relations with anybody in the world, and your relations to anybody in the world covers the entire spectrum, from relationship, personal life, business life, career life, your ability to sell yourself or to communicate, or whatever it might be. Communication is the bottom line of everything. Your ability to have a conversation, be a conversationalist, and a good orator, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how you can improve that skill and how you're going to become the best communicator as possible, right? Because you might be a little bit introverted, you might be very extroverted. No matter where you are, what age, what gender, what background, I'm going to show you some very simple practical steps for you to really improve on your communication skills and improve your ability in sales, customer relations, whatever it might be, dating. These things cover the entire palette, right? So the first thing when it comes to communication is understanding how you're currently communicating, right? You have got to really analyze what are the current patterns that you operate under when it comes to communication. What I mean by that is really analyzing, right? So when you communicate with someone and you stumble over words, or you say a lot of ums and ahs, you've got to actually be able to look back onto that and analyze your mistakes. It's just like playing chess, essentially. When you play chess, it's not actually playing chess that makes you a better chess player, it's analyzing the game that you played. So I'll look back at every video I record here on YouTube, completely raw, uncut format, and analyze where I could have communicated something differently. I could have used a different word, I could have been more clear, I could have dropped that or that or that pause, or I stumbled over that word. Always look back and analyze. I do this on sales calls, I do this on role play calls, I do this on client check-in calls, always looking back and analyzing when did it go well and when did it not go well. And this is a common theme of actually becoming better at anything, is analyzing when it does good and when it does badly. Now we're talking about communication, but this one principle actually applies over to the entirety of business. Whether you had really good results with a client or really bad results with a client, you've always got to look back and analyze, why did I achieve that outcome? What was the action that created that reaction, right? The same thing is with communication. Just solely looking at communication, you're going to have to be able to record yourself doing something like a raw format video on YouTube, or speaking with a lot of people, just speaking a lot more, right? Participating in debates, challenging people's look upon things, not being scared to speak up, because a lot of people are very introverted nowadays and won't speak their opinion and won't actually open their mouth or speak to other people because they might be afraid of sharing their opinion or not pleasing people in the room. And trust me, I've been there for sure, but you just got to realize that to be better at communication, you've got to be able to realize that everyone's different, and just having that debate and having that conversation is going to lead you down a path of improving your communication. So that's one aspect that I would really recommend people better when it comes to communication. Another aspect is actually when you're communicating to think of the words you're saying, not just stumble words out or communicate something because you've heard it. Just actually analyze the way you're communicating, use words, learn new words consistently, and analyze the way you're communicating. Speak with more people, obviously, we've covered that. And just make sure that you are always communicating. You're not scared of speaking up. You're not scared of analyzing the way that you talk to people. You're not scared of realizing that you're going to be bad at communication in the beginning. We've spoken about this on another video before, but you're going to be bad at communicating in the beginning. Just like when I started these videos, I didn't believe that I was a great communicator, but just through reps and through practicing and analyzing, and way before I started this channel, I've always personally been a bit extroverted and had the ability to speak, but I haven't been very fluent in my speaking. I still am not fluent in my speaking, right? I spoke with my father and he said, why would you ever learn another language than English if you don't know English yet? And I truly don't. There's a lot of words in the dictionary, and you can always improve your ability to communicate and learn new words, synonyms, etc. Right? And it's a bit of a boring task to do, but the matter of fact is that there's people out there that's 3 times the age of me that speaks worse than I do. And that's very weird, right? Because they have spoken 3 times more than I have. They've been alive for 60 years. I've been alive for 20 years. So why might I be better than some 60-year-olds at communicating my message and the way that I see things? Well, it's simply because I just analyze how I speak compared to people that don't. Some people just play the game of chess and other people look back on the games of chess. When you actually analyze the way you play chess, you can improve a lot faster than just playing chess over and over and over. And this is a common thing when it comes to anything in life, improving in football. There's a reason why the biggest sports teams in the world that really compete, they look back on all their games, analyze their games. The same thing goes for business relations. Why did this fail? Why didn't it fail? Reflecting and analyzing what went wrong. This can be your schedule throughout a week, journaling, whatever, right? So constantly being able to go through that feedback loop and analyze your communication. It's going to be very boring in the beginning to look back at yourself speak, but simply just putting down some notes saying, okay, I could have done better there. Why didn't I say that? And just actually looking at yourself talk on a video, just like I will be with this video, is going to allow me to think on a deeper level and actually get some ideas on where I could have improved. And then next time I'll get a bit better, and next time I'll get a bit better, and next time I'll get a bit better. Like, it's always going to be that feedback loop that gets you closer to being a great orator, a great communicator, a great conversationalist. And it's really one of the biggest skills for that one reason, that it is the baseline of everything you're going to do in life. It's the baseline of every single relation you have to anyone else is communication. And less in this world, as I talked about in the beginning of this video, less and less people have the ability to communicate because they're simply not communicating enough. They're on their phones, they're communicating through text, they're communicating through, I don't know, Snapchat or whatever. Actually sitting down and speaking with someone is going to get you a lot further on just your ability to communicate, handling eye contact, these things, having that human connection. And it's going to also improve your ability to build a personal brand, because now you can communicate your ideas and your values and your perspectives to a broader audience through video format, which is really the true way to leverage your communication skills, right? People that doesn't use video to grow their personal brand in 2024 need to have some sort of amazing status of being maybe an author or something, but apart from that, it's pretty much impossible, right? And it comes down to your ability to communicate. So always have the conversation, always practice communication, and realize that it is really the most overlooked skill out there, right? You see the biggest influencers and people in the space right now that came up over the last 4 or 5 years. Analyze their communication, analyze how their communication played a part in their come up, right? There's also some massive names out there that are semi-controversial at the moment, but I think you all know who I'm talking about. If it's about, someone living in Romania and someone having said some pretty outrageous stuff online and then building a massive audience, becoming the most Googled man on earth in 2022. I think you know who I'm talking about. People like him and his brother has, for example, been able to catch a massive amounts of people's attention, but if you analyze the communication skills behind there, regardless of what you think of his views and his way of purporting his ideas, communication skills there are truly unmatched, because he's someone that analyzes communication. And I can give you 5-6 different examples more of other people in the space that also look back and analyze the conversations and their communication and reflect and analyze, right? Some of the biggest people in the space, podcasters, all these people, big creators, look back on your communication, improve your communication, learn new words, practice new words, new phrases. When I do sales, I practice sales for myself, with other people, both in the mirror and role play calls, to just hone in on that communication, speak more, right? You would imagine that speaking more is only the first half. The second half is then analyzing when you have spoken and how you could have improved. Just like I'm going to watch this video and every other video that I have created, I'm going to watch back to be able to analyze where I could have improved. You're going to be able to do the same thing, but before you can analyze what you have said and how you've communicated, you need to communicate more, right? So practice debates, take that conversation, call someone on a video call, just have more conversations. If you are a relatively introverted person, start off with people in your network that you're comfortable having conversations with, and then widen that circle as you go. Just get more comfortable with sitting there having a one-to-one conversation in 10, 12, 13 minutes with someone, and then really start to think of the words you're using. Most people just mumble and back on their phones and TikTok and all these things. So really, my best advice would be to focus on the skills, because I think as we move forward into the next 5-10 years, communication skills, maybe until you can download communication skills in your nervous system through some sort of chip, who knows, but until then, that's a scary reality. But communication skills are becoming more and more important, because the competition is becoming a lot more easy, and it's almost splitting into people that are communicating and people who are not communicating a lot, right? So improve your communication skills, start to stand out, start to understand how to be a great orator, a conversationalist, and then practice it and analyze it, because it will bring you a lot more success in business, personal relations, sales, dating, whatever you're doing, right? Getting that raise, becoming a more well-known athlete, interviews, podcast, the ability to communicate your ideas also gives you a lot more status than people who are not, because you're simply gonna, if there's two people that has the same ideas, but one of them is communicating very well, he might not even have as an intelligent as an idea as the person who can't communicate it well, but he's simply gonna get further because he speaks it into reality, he communicates it well. So be that guy, but also be the intelligent guy, but practice both, practice communication, and watch yourself really influence more people, reach more people, practice, and analyze, of course. All right, that's that for this video today. Stay tuned for the next video next week. Let me know if there's any video ideas you'd like me to talk about, any topics from taking that first step to analyzing your current situation to how we do routines, morning routines, whatever, if that's even something that you should be doing, how you structure your daily life. Please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to talk about. Apart from that, I wish you an amazing rest of your week and speak to you next time.